Hi guys, hope you are well and safe. So I'm going to do a little mini series on drum fills, and this is the first lesson. Cool, so if you take a look at the screen, you can see we have a drum groove and we have 4 drum fills. So what I'd like you to do for the moment is just take a look at the drum fills. So we have A, B, C and D. So just to explain it a little bit so you guys can have a recap, because we haven't had a lesson in a while. So you look at the notes with one line, joining them together, which we call tails. They are 8th notes, and you want to count those coffee, coffee. Then if you look at A, the second part, you have 2 lines or 2 tails. They're 16th notes, and we want to go Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. So I like to come up with those little names because it just makes it a little bit more interesting. But the real way to count these would be 1 and 2 and for the 8th notes, the one with one line, and then the 16th notes with 2, there'd be 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So you can see that the first notes that are on the snare, and then you can see it moves to the high tom, and then the last bit moves to the floor tom. So what we're going coffee, coffee, then Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. Or if you want to go into like real music terms, we're going 1 and 2 and 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So I'm going to give you an example of how that goes now. Cool, so nothing too crazy there. The hard part about this, I would say, is just counting it. So pause the video and give that a go. Cool, so now you've kind of got a little bit familiar with that. Let's take a look at B. So as you can see, the drums are in exactly the same place. It's exactly the same rhythm, but it's doubles, because you can see at the top we have right, right, left, left. So similar to my rudiments video that you may or may not have seen, we're kind of adding the rudiments into drum grooves. So we have A is singles and B is doubles. So what I would like you to do now is take a look at B and just give it a go around your drums, or if you don't have drums, you can do it on some pillows. And yeah, so pause the video and give that a go. Cool, so now you've done that, I'll show you exactly how it goes. So we know we have doubles, so right, right, left, left, and we're keeping with the same pattern. So we're going coffee, coffee, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. Cool. So when you are playing it and practicing it, it should sound exactly like that. So you can also see that we have a drum groove. So again, we're following the same pattern with the 8th note. So you know that the hi-hats with the crosses at the top, we want to count that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because you can see it's a 4/4 bar, which you can see the 2 4s there matching up together. Tells us that we count to 4. So what I would like you to do is get the pulse on the hi-hat and just count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'll give you a demonstration of that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cool. So pause the video and give that a go. Cool, so now we've got the hi-hats down. What we want to do is add the bass drums in. So you can see we have a bass drum on the 1, we have a bass drum on the 3, and we have a bass drum on the 4 and. So if we play that and repeat it together, and repeat each bar together, we get something that sounds like this. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So look back on the video that I've just look back at the little bit I've just done here, and what I'd like you to do is pause the video, give that a go, and and just remember, go through it really slowly, and try not to rush it. Cool. So when you've got to this point, all we have to add in now is two things, but we're going to start off with the snares. So like other drum beats we've done, like the first beat you've ever learned, we have a snare on the 2 and the 4. So what I'd like you to do for this is keep counting as you play, and this time add in the snares. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of how that sounds when you add the snares in. So give that a go. You want to repeat it a few times, play it as much as you can. Just really get familiar with it before we move on. So pause the video and just give it a go. Loop it a few times. You want it to be in your muscle memory, so you can play that beat without having to think about anything. Great stuff. So now we've done that, all we need to do is add in some open hi-hats. So if you take a look at the sheet music, we have a circle and a plus, and that means an open hi-hat. So as a little bit of a guide, which I like to look at, is when you see the circle, you want to lift your left leg or your right leg if you're left-handed, but if you're right-handed, lift your left leg up with a hi-hat, and then when you see a plus, you kind of push your left leg down and hit the hi-hat. So I'll show you a demonstration of how an open hi-hat sounds like. So you can see there, as I hit the hi-hat, my left leg has come up, and as I hit the hi-hat down, so does my leg kind of goes down as well. So you get this kind of this motion going on. So again, really focus on my left leg as it lifts up, and then it comes back down. Cool. So just take a few minutes to practice that. Just do it really slowly. Just kind of get used to it. If you're not on a drum kit, the best thing you can do is kind of hit your leg, lift up, and then hit down. That's how I used to practice when I first started drumming. So pause the video and give that a go. Cool. So now what we want to do is play that drum beat that we've got used to, and we want to add those open hi-hats in there. So I'll play it a bit faster so you can kind of hear how it would sound in like a song context. Again, just go through it really slowly. There's no need to rush this or play it at any speed. Cool, so now you've got that down. Now I want you to add the fills in. So we want to go with A and B. So start off with the drum fill, the drum groove, sorry. Follow through and each bar, and then when you get to the end, you want to kind of transition into the drum fill. So I'll show you exactly how that goes. So I'm only going to do A for you because I don't want to give it away too much. Cool. So as you can see there, I finished the groove and I went straight into the fill. So if you can do that with A and B, pause the video, work through. So you've got your singles on A and you've got your doubles on B. Cool. So now that's done, what you want to do is take a look at C and D. So I'm not gonna show you or explain C and D because this is going to be a task for you to do at home. So if you got to this point, you kind of should have an understanding of what everything is and where we are on the drum kit and what the notes are. So just as a little bit of advice, look at it carefully. You start off with 16th notes and then it goes into 8th notes. So remember, 16th notes, 1 E under, 2 E under, or Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, and the 8th notes are 1 and 2 and, or coffee, coffee. Yeah, so play the groove through and see if you can do A, B, C, and D. Made sense. So I really love these drum grooves and drum fills and drum grooves because you can use it in your in songs that you're doing at school. So especially the fills. So you can use A, B, C, D, and throw them in. So when you go back to lessons, and you're doing your group projects and stuff, when you have a section change in a song, so for example we're going from the intro into a verse or a verse into a chorus, you can add one of these drum fills in. And you'll notice as well as how it like changes the song, like it's kind of splitting up the sections, and it will sound amazing, and everyone in your band will look at you and be like, yeah, this is cool. So keep working on them. Kind of you just want to get them into your muscle memory so you don't have to think about them. So when you do go into your band situation, you just play them really easily. Cool. So good luck with them. Hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you soon.